Hello and welcome to the daily English news program on Azerbaycan Television. With you, your host, İlham, with most important events of the day. On August 18th, President İlham received credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Bahrom Ashrafkhanov.
Ambassador Bahrom Ashrafkhanov presented his credentials to President İlham Aliyev. The head of state then spoke with the ambassador. President İlham Aliyev hailed the level of bilateral relations and cooperation between the two countries. Emphasizing the active political dialogue between the two countries, President İlham Aliyev noted that Azerbaijan enjoys close cooperation with Uzbekistan within international organizations as well as the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states. Azerbaijani President İlham Aliyev described the Uzbek President Shavkat Mirziyoyev's participation in the summit of the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states held in October 2019 in Baku as a significant contribution to the development of cooperation between the two countries. President İlham Aliyev noted that as part of this visit, fruitful discussions were held with Uzbek head of state on cooperation in the fields of economy, trade, transport and logistics, agriculture as well as cotton growing and other areas. Noting that his visit to Uzbekistan was postponed due to the coronavirus pandemic, President İlham Aliyev said that he would visit brotherly Uzbekistan as soon as epidemiological situation allows. President İlham Aliyev commended Uzbekistan for its support as a member state in adopting relevant statements within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states regarding Armenia's another aggression against Azerbaijan in the direction of Tovuz district of the Azerbaijani-Armenian border on July 12 this year. The head of state noted that along with other areas, the cooperation between the two countries in the field of transport and logistics has yielded good results. Noting that bilateral cooperation between the countries is based on brotherly relations between the two nations, President İlham Aliyev underlined good prospects for the development of relations with Uzbekistan in all areas. Ambassador Bahrom Ashrafkhanov extended Uzbek President Shavkat Mirziyoyev's sincerest greetings and best wishes to President İlham Aliyev. He noted that the Uzbek President's participation in the summit of the Cooperation Council of the Turkic-speaking states in Baku last October and the meetings held at the level of heads of state on the sidelines of the summit gave an important impetus to the development of bilateral relations. Emphasizing that Azerbaijan has made great strides in all areas and is a role model for other countries under the leadership of President İlham Aliyev, the ambassador noted that Uzbekistan benefited from Azerbaijan's advanced experience and that the Agency for State Services was established on the example of Asan Khidmat in his country. Hailing good relations between the two countries, the ambassador pointed out that Uzbekistan attaches great importance to the development of trade and economic relations with Azerbaijan, describing Azerbaijan as a strategic partner for Uzbekistan in this area in the CIS region. The ambassador also expressed Uzbekistan's keenness to study Azerbaijan's experience in the field of agriculture, including the hazelnut and pomegranate growing. The ambassador expressed his hope that the current measures related to the coronavirus pandemic would end soon and that the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan would pay a visit to Uzbekistan. He expressed his confidence that this visit would give a new impetus to the expansion and deepening of bilateral cooperation. The ambassador noted that Uzbekistan attaches great importance to cooperation with Azerbaijan in the field of transport and logistics, as well as the transport corridor connecting Azerbaijan and Central Asia via the Caspian Sea and the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway project. Bahrom Ashrafkhanov pointed out that Uzbekistan has always supported the settlement of the Armenian-Azerbaijan conflict within Azerbaijan's territorial integrity. President İlham Aliyev commended Uzbekistan for unequivocally supporting Azerbaijan's territorial integrity. The head of state thanked for Shavkat Mirziyoyev's greetings and asked the ambassador to extend his greetings and best wishes to the Uzbek president.
The Armenian leadership, which poses a serious threat to regional security, continues its bizarre statements without renouncing its insidious intentions. Official Yerevan, which has accused Turkey of its activities in the eastern Mediterranean, seems to be hindering the establishment of lasting peace and stability not only in the South Caucasus, but also in other regions. According to experts, such accusations and slanders will not benefit Armenia and will lead to its complete isolation in the international arena. The Armenian leadership, which has reached the point of geopolitical suicide, now directed a hypocritical smear campaign against fraternal Turkey. Thus, the Armenian Foreign Ministry inspects the maneuvers carried out by Ankara in the Eastern Mediterranean after the Treaty of Sevres, not only inspects, but calls for stability that it has not been able to create. However, these so-called examples of extremism were quickly silenced by a response from the Turkish Foreign Ministry. Quote, "Pursuing a foreign policy with such accusations and slanders out of context will not benefit the region or Armenia. With such an approach, it only gives the impression of reviving one-sided historical concepts and justifying their aggression. This crippled approach that ignites aggressive nationalism is very unfortunate." In fact, at this point, the reasons for the Pashinyan government's such disgusting manipulation towards Turkey, which acts in accordance with the norms and principles of international law, are understandable. Azerbaijan is not alone, but everyone knows this. We are together, we are one nation. We stand for peace and stability, said Hulusi Akar. Commenting on Armenia's yet another hypocrisy, Hikmet Hacıyev, head of the Foreign Policy Department of the Presidential Administration, called on the occupying country to refrain from such false statements. This statement by Armenia, which reflects its territorial claims against Turkey in the state emblem and has been occupying the internationally recognized territories of Azerbaijan for nearly 30 years, is both ridiculous and an attempt to interfere in matters beyond its control. Armenia is completely unaware of the situation in the Eastern Mediterranean, and the only reason for its statement is that the issue concerns Turkey. It is believed that after the failure of those provocation by the hated neighbor aimed at a new war for new territories, the military political leadership of this country tends to compensate for the failure of the July military venture on other levels. Consideration of large Azerbaijani settlements and strategically important civilian facilities such as Mingechavir hydroelectric power plant as a military target, followed by a threat of a military strike at Ganja through the so-called head of the illegal regime, confirms that Armenia's forcible occupation, instead of eliminating the consequences of the conflict, aims to strengthen the created occupying situation. Some sources say that Pashinyan, who was humiliated on the Hard Talk program on BBC, which is popular with billions of viewers, when faced with the demand of an apology, weakening with every word, he, by trying to avoid becoming a source of shame, once again falls for putting on the so-called knight armor and is looking for new ways to deceive by reviving the dead brain cells. Politics, the state, these are serious concepts. There is no place for responsible statements. Continuing in this way will have embarrassing consequences. Starting from August 18th, rendering service to customers in public catering places at open air is allowed. Under the relevant decision of the Cabinet of Ministers, in public catering facilities as well as restaurants, cafes, tea houses and other places at open air, services will be delivered to customers in place from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. with exceptions of hookah equipment and gathering of more than 6 people at each table. According to the decision, the activities of public catering facilities are organized in accordance with existing rules, sanitary norms and requirements of methodological guidelines. A modernized system is being created in Azerbaijan's thermal power plant, which provides 43% of the country's electricity needs.
To prevent the recurrence of accidents in the energy system in 2018, Azerenergy is developing a new system of reversible emergency response automatics to limit and completely eliminate emergency modes. Thanks to the updated system, the power failure will be localized automatically. This will prevent coverage of the entire system in less than a second. The new system is being applied at all power plants and substations under construction and reconstructions. The head of Center for Public Relations and Media of Azerenergy, Timur Abdullayev, said that along with the new reverse emergency automation and microprocessor relay protection, Azerenergy is also implementing serious projects in the field of reconstruction of SCADA system, as well as frequency regulation and reactive power compensation. The Azerbaycan thermal power plant has been completely reconstructed over the past 2 years. At the same time, the reconstruction, repair and restoration work continues at 12 power plants and more than 20 substations.
131 cases of the novel coronavirus were recorded in Azerbaijan. 159 people recovered after treatment and were released home. One citizen who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 34,474, with 32,201 recoveries and 509 deaths. The number of active infections is 1,764. To detect new infection cases, 843,269 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan so far, reported the task force under the Cabinet of Ministers. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.